Howdy y'all, Los here. I've got my desert rose here and I haven't done much to it but let it grow. It's getting very top heavy and in the wind it's knocked over a couple times. I wanted to pull it out of this container and look at the root system and see if we can't get a interesting looking bonsai out of this. I know a few things about it. The sap is poisonous and you should use precaution when dealing with the roots or any sort of the branching. And I know how easy it is to propagate. So as you can see, I've got a nice propagated one here. It's literally a succulent, so its water needs are met very easily, and it's probably pretty easy to overwater it. I definitely don't have a problem overwatering these things. I think the problem here is that I underwater sometimes, so this is going to love it here in this garden. So let's go ahead and pull this out and just check out what we have with this thing. I haven't looked at the roots once, so let's do it. Oof. Now I must have repotted this and added lots of perlite and expanded shale to it at some point. I don't even recall where I got this desert rose. I think I probably picked it up at the grocery store or the hardware store when I was walking through. It was probably a really good price. I think I would recall perhaps it was a little under $20 for something that looked rather big. So we're just going through these roots. Yeah, I absolutely did repot it because you see we've got one of our drainage screens in here, and wow, that I think a root is growing through one of the yeah, that's cool. Look at that, it's going right through that screen. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Now because it's a succulent, I don't want to really go at it with a root hook. I don't want to like puncture it, but I think if you're careful enough you can accomplish. You just don't want to like be, yeah, see, it's very easy to just like start marring up the surface. So I'm just going to sort of poke. I'm not really going to push hard. And because we used a nice well-draining soil, it should be easy enough to remove. But boy, does this grow in a big mass of roots. Like, trying to find the bulbs here somewhere. You know what? I'm getting hit by this really tall one here, so I was going to cut it off anyways. I want to propagate it as well, and I may be able to get a couple. One thing I don't know is that if I can cut this in sections and get individual plants like you can with root cutting or with the cuttings. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it probably right about here or so and see what we got. And because it's a succulent, it should be rather easy to cut. In previous cuts, as you can see, they heal up rather nicely here. They close up and it bifurcates. So you cut this once, you're going to get two shooting out at least. So that's one thing to understand about a desert rose. Where you cut it, just like a Portulacara afra, it's going to bifurcate out. So you can develop some sweet ramification absolutely quickly. Quick growing, it is fast growing, but I wouldn't say it's, I don't know, it did put on all this foliage and branching rather quickly, I guess. But this has been, I guess, in this pot for a little over a year. We're just trying to get through to the roots here, and I think maybe we can go ahead and try to wash this out. I see some really bulbous roots right here. Look at that. What would Baldov say when he saw that stuff? He would get like excited.
Roland and Ian and myself were out there and saw this one and my head just exploded with like excitement. I was like, woohoo!
Oh, he'd
be like, woo! Look at that, that booty or something. Yeah, woo! He gets super excited. Wow. What a crazy batch of roots here. Just gonna keep tickling on the inside here and get all those roots, that soil out. According to Bonsai Empire, work like this should be done in late spring. This is just unbelievable. I'm just gonna leave this here and you should just get a bunch of inside shots of this because we can find all sorts of unique things to do with this. I mean, boy, I'm thinking we can expose a lot of this. Have it like a cascade coming out. That thick bulbous root right here. I mean, we definitely have to do something about all the crossing ones because those will thicken up too and we don't want them to, you know, crush themselves like they did over here. Like literally this is choking itself out because of the screen. It's pretty funky. Thought I'd grab myself a hobby blade because there's a lot of roots that are like, seriously, this one is just wrapped up around and I think it'll be much easier to free it if we can cut it out from up here. Now this has got very soft skin. I mean, you can just use a nice X-Acto knife and do all the pruning you want with it because remember, it is a succulent, so it's mostly water with a little bit of membrane. So we're gonna just go ahead and look around. I think we're gonna just take this one off here, start here and see how this works here. Carefully cut that root off. Yeah, look at that. Great. I don't know if you can propagate through root cuttings, but shoot, let's give it a shot today. Let's find out. We'll save a few of these bigger bulbous roots we cut off. Now let's check out this one here. We've got a crisscross. We got this leg over here with this leg underneath. Got to do something about that. That may be a little distracting. You know, we want our roots to go, you know, radial, but I don't know if that's even going to be possible without just destroying this root system entirely. And I almost most certainly believe that you could probably just chop it right here and that will propagate on its own. I'm almost certain that's a possibility you can do, which might be pretty cool. We may want to opt for that, but that wouldn't be any fun if we just chopped it all off. So let's play with some more of these roots here. This one. Now, let's not just start chopping off roots here. Let's think about this. We do want to get rid of the ones that seem undesirable. Crisscrossing, weaker ones. But I do want to try to eventually find a front. Now, as you can see, this is growing out in a fan pattern here, and it's all seems to be on one plane. Now we can change that up. As you can see, I've cut it and it's bifurcating, and we can start using clip and grow techniques here to start moving these around. So let's find a good way that we can display it in a way that it doesn't show this like weird inverse taper here as well as what we're getting. It's all just pretty ugly, and we could cut that. There's all sorts of stuff we can do. Okay, well, I'm just gonna think about it for a second here, and All right, just gonna start working. Let's see. I'm gonna try to move these over and see if I can't get them to uncross. It seems like I may be able to. Yeah, it should heal. Come on, roots. You know, for as soft as they are, they're pretty resilient. Or at least they seem right now. I don't know if I'm just completely hurting this plant to the point that it's going to fail. But I don't think that that's going to be the case with succulent. These guys are going to... Yeah, so I kind of corrected that crisscross, which is kind of nice. I kind of didn't want that crisscross to happen there. And now maybe we can post it up something like this. I don't know. These are just really weird. Look at this octopus, like this squid right here. It's a squid right there. Maybe that would be a cool, like, yeah, look at that. It's like Zoidberg over here. Robot. These are cool. Like, what do you do with this? I don't know. I thought we'd find something with this, but this is a crazy, the way it just like twists into itself. Okay, well, let's see what else we can do. Wow. That is just one big, it's almost like a taproot right here. I wonder if I can just remove that whole big old batch there. What do you think about that? Let's give it a shot. Why not? It is thick. This definitely is not going to be able to cut through it. So let's go and get a nice sharp knife here. I suppose we'll just sucker punch. Wow. Okay, so we got to be very careful here. This may be the poisonous stuff they were talking about. Okay, look at that. Kind of smells like jicama, earthy. I don't recommend you eat it though. So, we can go ahead and probably plant this. Do you think that this is going to turn into its own plant? Seems to be reason that we can believe that. So you can see that right there. I may try to like cut some more. just to try to see what we can do, but perhaps we can get a nice fat rock under there. I don't know. You know me and these rocks lately. I'm willing to put a rock, you know, it's probably good to try to find the right kind of rocks that do live in this area where the desert rose grows naturally. And these things grow to be like huge like trees, dude. I'm telling you. I've never seen one in person, but they are fat. PHAT though, you know. So I'm just trying to cut that stump off a bit more. Oop. Now, do you think we can get desert rose out of one of those? It almost looks like it's fruit, you know?
It's like a potato.
Yeah, like a potato, yeah. Okay, so we have a nice little void there now, which we could probably exploit in a planting. You know, we can do a nice root over rock kind of affair. Okay, yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. Okay, let's find a rock, brah. Oh, that's kind of nice. Oh, that one too, has the micro holes in it. That's what you want. That one. So we just got a few choices. Okay, so I'm gonna do something like this, sort of leaning over the rock, maybe. Possibility. We definitely more flat here. Maybe we can exploit the rock a little bit more. Get some of these longer whips to intercept with at least this one here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The rock doesn't have to be part of it, but I think we can use that bulb right there as a feature. I think we can go with something like that. Yeah, I think we can go with something like that, dude. these roots here we can play around the rock. Just a couple of them. But yeah, maybe we can get some bonsai soil now in here. See what we can do. I gotta find my thing. Okay, maybe put a couple rocks on the top here just to keep it from drying out too quickly, I guess. Alright, so let's cut this back here. We're just going to go ahead and start cutting. I'm going to cut it back kind of hard here. Maybe keep a couple of them long. Maybe this bottom one we'll make long and we'll add wire to it. See if it'll take wire. But basically I want to start creating movement in these branches. So, I'm kind of finding it's a little too far out. Let's go back there. Yeah, I should pull these way back, chase them back. You don't want it to be too long. Great. And then this, for this top one, I want to bring it back a little bit more. There we go. Okay. And then we've got this one, which maybe we could do something like that. I don't know. What do you think? Let's give it a shot. Now it's a succulent. Grows, rather quickly, rather fast, not quickly. If that makes any sense. So we want to make sure we have somewhat of a loose but tight anchor here. And I'm just going to kind of lightly but firmly make sure that it's there. I just don't want to make too I don't want to strangle this little thing. Go in between. Up to the flower. Let's go ahead and cut that back. Okay, so you can see it's already sort of working there. Wire's doing its job. We'll have that bend down a little more for that contour. Beautiful. Okay. I think it looks pretty cool. You know, it's a developing tree, so, you know, don't expect instant bonsai all the time, you know? Sometimes you got to do the work for it to be a beautiful thing later. So I think we did a wonderful job on this. Let's go ahead and put it on the bench and try another thing out.